So I know this might be a direct sequel to my last video about me fanboying on Call of Duty. Now here's the serious part. A gaming journalist is so terrified about how Infinity Ward is going to apply the gritty realism displayed in the recent trailer of Modern Warfare. VentureBeat journalist Dean Takahashi fears that the game itself revives the same past controversies, especially Modern Warfare 2's No Russian.
Remember, no Russian.
He's even asking developers to drop or censor disturbing scenes, even though the fact that Call of Duty has the reason why it should be rated mature in the first place. Look, it's not even the first time Call of Duty is under fire by these so-called journalists. Even one Polygon article mentions that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is better without gore, which basically sounds like saying that the entire John Wick trilogy is better without guns.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
What do you need? Guns. Lots of guns.
This isn't the child-friendly Fortnite, you twat!
Modern Warfare can't decide whether war is bad or badass. Modern Warfare impressions, taking war in a frightening direction.
He even claims to be a fan of Call of Duty since 2003, and yet he hasn't clearly defined what war feels like 16 years later. Though games like Call of Duty are actually simulators of war, something already tells me that you haven't been playing these games of the entire franchise at all. While you're focusing so much on your 30-year excuse of a career writing your articles to whine about the violence on first-person shooters. And speaking of playing video games, this is the same journalist who even completely humiliated himself for playing Cuphead in the tutorial level. The beginning level for 26 fucking minutes! Speaking on my search on Cuphead, well guess who just popped out on my YouTube recommended list? The Lord and Savior PewDiePie. I'm not just talking about Gloria Borger, but at least he gets the basic journalism done right.
Turns out you're wrong, because I have done a little bit of journalistic work myself.
Pewds has literally owned and debunks these gaming journalists who can't even play games.
This is a footage of a games journalist, which I'm not gonna name, who apparently spent 25 years writing for games. And this is him playing the tutorials. I don't know, but maybe you've seen it already. It kind of went viral just because of how god-awful it is. Possible. He did it. Thank God. In his defense, he tweeted out, "Spoken by someone who hasn't played it yet. Do me a favor and capture your first honest 26 minutes. Okay. It's time to do this."
What you are about to witness is the first 26 minutes of PewDiePie playing Cuphead. Unedited. Raw footage.
Okay. Oh my god! No, he used a controller. Maybe it's more difficult. I don't mean to sound like an elitist or whatever. If people are bad at games, I couldn't care less. But if you're writing reviews about games, how can anyone trust what you're saying when you clearly never bother to play a game properly? How can you struggle with this? You don't even have to press the direction.
This just proves how much of these gaming journalists are simply pedantic morons salty over war games, in the fear of the age-old myth of video games that virtual violence advocates real-life violence. Bullshit! Ever heard about and watch R-rated movies, bro? I mean, for fuck's sake, he's even comparing playing Cuphead to Dark Souls.
Is it just like Dark Souls?
Like every gaming journalists do whenever they describe that a game is hard to play.
Crash Bandicoot has become Dark Souls. The Dark Souls of space! Breath of the Wild is a little bit like Dark Souls. Every game is like Dark Souls. Let's go to my favorite video game journalist website, Polygon, to find out. It isn't the Dark Souls of...
No, stop blaming and hating on the game difficulty. It's your lack of experience while focusing on your jobs, by pretentiously writing a review of how much you hate it, because you just suck at it.
You suck.
Because thank God no one got triggered when 12-year-olds even get the chance to play and interact with God of War sex scenes. No, I'm not talking about the new one.
The gods have truly blessed you, Kratos.
Also, thank you for not getting triggered of the amount of violence displayed in the Doom series. Yeah, don't even bother touching that one. Can we just stop blaming video games for inciting mass violence, please? Not just that these are not my words, because study and research doubts it very much. This just proves how much hypocrisy and idiocy this journalist possesses. Even most of the guys in the comment section see how much of the sheer absurdity these journalists have. To smear and defame the legacy of video games by even bullying developers into possibly adding their own social justice messages. Now it's all political. I mean, look at what happened to the embarrassment that is Battlefield 5. And I don't need to explain the story all over again. Having no basic grasp of any gaming knowledges and experiences, no strong connection with gamers and the community, is one surefire method of showing one's own form of basic bitchery.
You're a basic bitch.
You spent 30 years making dumb, virtue-signaling articles about how video games could be any worse, only for it to be as great as it is. Even way before you get to play it, or you don't even play at all. Trust me, journalists, you don't want to end up humiliating yourselves. It's because that you're not really gamers. You'd rather rig the game, because you're all activists. We all know the sign. If the journalists hate the game, that means it's gonna be good.
Bravo 6. Going dark.
Please smash that subscribe button, it really helps to support my channel.